got a few things, if that's all right.
I told you,
I think so. We don't take too much time. Is getting command 12:26.
I've got a few.
Ask one thing. If we go quick, we'll come back again. If we don't go quick, I'll let you know. Ask your most important question.
Okay, you say that you've been, or the Ashari have been Madhumeen because they are referred to Jahmiyyah or Mu'tazila, and that you're saying no, they're separate. And the Sheikh said they're an extension. So I've got a naql from an Ashari, Imam al-Iji. Just listen to what he says. فاعلم أن ما يقوله المعتزلة وهو خلق الأصوات والحروف كونها حادثة فنحن نقول به لا نزاع بيننا وبينهم في ذلك وما نقوله في كلام النفس فهم ينكرون ثبوته. طيب, what's the problem when we say that you're an extension of this? Because here your Imam al-Iji, he's saying we are in agreement with the Mu'tazila, and this is regarding the mas'ala that the Quran is makhluq. What's the response to that?
What was the completion of the second part of the statement?
The second part is about the kalam al-nafs where they ikhtalf.
Exactly.
بس kalam al-lafz makhluq.
So the love of you, when you recite the Quran, do you believe that that's makhluq? Like when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman, isn't that makhluq?
Al-maqru'?
Yeah.
Al-maqru' makhluq? It's kalam Allah?
The qira'ah itself, isn't that makhluq?
My recitation, I'm talking about the maqru'.
Yeah, but you reciting it, as the action itself, isn't
my
it?
action is created, but the maqru' is kalam Allah.
Okay. The maqru' is kalam Allah, and the kalam of Allah is a sifa of His, true? The sifa is qa'im bin mawsuf. So when you have the kalam of Allah memorized in your heart, can you claim that you have the sifa of Allah in you? Or is it a going back to the ma'na of kalam Allah nafsi? You get me?
I know what you're saying.
You get it? Because if you say that the kalam of Allah, the maqru' haqiqatan, like you're actually reciting the sifa of Allah, that means حلت بك صفة من صفات الله, which is is kufr itself, because like Imam Abu Hanifa mentioned. But what's important is that is the aqidah of the Ashari, where they disputed with the Mu'tazila on this. But Imam Abu Hanifa, like I said to you, he said the kalam of Allah is bila sawt wala harf. That's the madhab of the Maturidi. Again, the hadith, you got to see, it's like I said to you, the weight of the hadith differs, whether it's mutawatir ahad. Ahad, we said يغلب على الظن صدقه. في احتمال الخطأ ولا. There is an ihtimal of the khata. There is an ihtimal between the mutawatir and the ahad. We just mentioned. We just mentioned, you can't base iman and kufr upon the ahadith from Imam al-Tabari. Regarding the kalam of Allah, the difference we have with the Mu'tazila is they negated the sifa altogether. We done ithbat of the sifa كما يليق بالله سبحانه وتعالى. They said there's no sifa altogether. The mushabbiha, they said يتكلم بحرف وصوت حادثان في ذاته. The Hanabila, on the other hand, they said يتكلم بصوت وحرف قديمان, which is exactly what the Imam Bukhari mentions in خلق أفعال العباد. Because they do mura'at of the alfaz. They're very specific in affirming the words that are there in Sharia. They said the sawt is affirmed, the harf is affirmed, we affirm it, but it's qadiman. What does qadiman mean? It goes in line exactly with the Ash'ari say. Kalamullah qadim, al-harf wa sawt kalamullah, but it's qadim at the same time. So we're meaning on the same issue. As for if you were to take it literally that the kalam of Allah is ahruf and aswat haditha, يلزم من ذلك قيام الحوادث في ذات الله, and that is kufr and dalala according to the way of the Salaf.
هذا إلزام. That's your إلزام.
But the Shaykh didn't deny. He said يقوم الحوادث في ذات الله. Things that are that weren't present become present and then disappear in the dhat of Allah. That's what.
But the Quran, was it present?
Imam Bukhari, he mentions that the kalam of Allah, he says Al-Quran is kalamullah qadim even before the creation of Musa, the creation of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. That Allah was mawsuf bil Quran because it's kalam qadim.
Bil kalam.
Yeah, that goes in line with the Ashari or the Ashari.
It doesn't go in line.
Sheikh, can we go through the book again? Can we assign special time for it?
It doesn't go with the Ashari. Absolutely.
I've got the nusus here.
And then on this issue that he's mentioning, Akhi, شوف الفلسفة أنت speculative theology you've got a good hold it's holding you
It's not Sheikh يعني
pushing you away from the Quran and
إمام بخاري himself used علم الكلام. You know that Sheikh? Last time you said Ibn Kullab was ضال مضل. If you Ibn Kullab. Do you know what's mentioned in the biography of Imam Bukhari where he took علم الكلام from? He took it from الإمام الكرابيسي who was a student of Imam Shafi'i and Ibn Kullab and المحاسبي.
Both of them ضللهم الإمام أحمد. ايش بدك أحسن من ذلك؟ Both of them ضللهم الإمام أحمد.
So Imam Bukhari is ضال for taking علم الكلام from them.
ما ضل الإمام البخاري، ضل الإمام الكرابيسي والإمام الكلابي.
Okay, since he took from them, is he ضال also?
On this issue that Bilal brought up with you. أخي, why don't you stick with what the Quran says?
Sheikh, where the disagreement is
وإن أحد من المشركين استجارك فأجره حتى يسمع
Sheikh, the difference between
الله
us.
أثبت الكلام له.
So you're doing
كيف
what
عم
the
تقول الآن؟ عم تقول الكلام لمن صدرت منه مبدئيا هو كلامه سبحانه وتعالى.
Sheikh, you're falling into the same trap the Khawarij fell into, where you're taking it back to your understanding of the Quran and Sunnah. The claim that we're making is where mana ahl to go back directly to the Quran and Sunnah. Follow the way of the Salaf.
The way of the Salaf. What's the way of the Salaf?
The A'imma that I'm mentioning to you. Imam al-Bukhari, his statements. Imam Tabari, his statements.
لا إمام البخاري حبيبي is against you. إمام البخاري هلا الحرف والصوت. هيا. إمام البخاري قال كأفعال العباد قال بصوت يسمعه من قرب كمن يسمعه من بعد. وين الإمام البخاري؟
قديمان.
وين قديمان؟ وين قديمان؟
It's in the book.
وين؟
Do you want to go through the book?
Yeah,
we have to go through the whole thing.
جيب لي قديمان. هيا البخاري قدامي. قديمان I dare you to say to get me قديمان.
ما قول قديم ما قول قديم أنا ما قول
الإمام البخاري
ما قول قديم
بنمزح عليك اليوم.
بس anyway يعني if you want with the كلام النفسي والكلام كلام الله سبحانه وتعالى هذه تحتاج إلى جلسة. تحتاج إلى جلسة كاملة هي. If you want. We can شو اسمه open it up.
But did you know that Sheikh that the Imam Bukhari took his علم الكلام from Ibn Kullab and Karabisi and Muhasib?
حبيبي البخاري ليس من المتفلسفين ولم يأخذ لا علم
So where did he take علم الكلام from?
مين؟
Didn't he take it from them?
مين؟ وين؟
From these أئمة.
جيب لي بالإسناد الصحيح عن الإمام البخاري أنه أخذ علم الكلام اللي عم تدعيه. I dare you. علم الكلام عن القرابيسي وعن الكلابي.
So the ulama that stated that in their books they kept that in.
وين؟
ابن حجر من فتح الباري من
ابن حجر
بالإسناد الصحيح ما بدي بس نقولات أو
Now you're doing فلسفة.
قال الإمام البخاري أو أخذ البخاري عن
Just accept it.
لا حبيبي
إمام
لا
ابن حجر
العسقلاني
أمير المؤمنين.
كيف السلف حذروا من علم الكلام والإمام البخاري من أئمة السلف يأخذ علم الكلام.
إذا ابن حجر الثقة
ها؟
إذا ابن حجر الثقة
حبيبي ولو كان 100 ثقة ها الإمام البخاري 100 ثقة لما روى الحديث لما روى الحديث كيف رواه؟ رواه هكذا قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
طيب what if we
جاوب
شيخ what if we find that
حدثنا الإمام ابن حجر إذا نقل قال والبخاري سأخذ كلامه هكذا مثل ما نقلوا عن علي رضي الله عنه كان الله ولا ما كان وهو الآن على ما عليه كان ما في بدون إسناد.
Everyone we don't take off from them. How could we know?
Did you
do what Bukhari done? How you trusting Bukhari? How you trusting Bukhari?
ابن المبارك سفيان بن عيينة الحسن البصري ايش قالوا؟
Are you blind to Bukhari? Have you gone to everyone in the chain and checked up on him? His thiqah, he does his adl, his whatever.
Bukhari.
So you're muqallid to Bukhari. So you're muqallid to Bukhari.
No, we're not muqallid to Bukhari or anyone.
Why not?
We're not muqallid to anyone.
Why are you muqallid to
نحن
Bukhari?
متابعين للدليل حبيبي. البخاري أتانا بالحديث مسندا بالثقات نأخذه.
How do you know Bukhari is right in that person? How do you know if Bukhari is right? Who's a thiqah? How do you know?
How do you know Bukhari is right? How do you know the Quran is right?
You just said ب100 ثقة 100 ثقة جيب 100
How
ثقة.
do you know the Quran is right?
ها؟ Because it's متواتر.
بإيش
متواتر مستحيل to be lying.
يعني
Because many
thousands
people
narrated.
Exactly.
والبخاري كمان نفس الشيء. نفس الشيء
ده
حبيبي.
أحد حديث.
تلقته بالقبول.
Is that متواتر؟ إذا متواتر؟
تلقته الأمة بالقبول.
تلقته
الأمة بالقبول.
You're just عصبي
أن إسناد is there.
There's a lot of brothers to go through.
Beautiful.
Sheikh, I'm going to make it short and sweet because you're going to come with fun fasa. And nothing you can do. Now let me finish. I listened to you for 4 hours.
I get upset when people make a mistake in that.
Well, this is my opinion. Like you have my opinion on the Salafi brothers, and we're just Simin. You said we let it go. Now you're gonna come with falsafa. You said the Prophet ﷺ, you agreed he did this, correct? Sami'u al-Basir. Imam Bukhari narrated from Anas, from the Prophet ﷺ, and your Shaykh Al-Hasan al-Basri has commentary on it, and Al-Tabarani has it, and that's for you to go research. When he said the Prophet ﷺ, let me finish. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Hasan al-Ashari made commentary that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has 2 eyes. That's in their books, but this is for them. I've got the dalil here. I've been very, very patient. The hadith he's commenting on is on Anas, found in Bukhari, mutawatir, not ahad hadith. Stop throwing ahad. That the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah is not hidden from you. Allah is not hidden from you, and He is not one-eyed. And He pointed to His 2 eyes. Listen this, and He has wal dajjal a'war. And he went like this. Found in Bukhari. Why did he do that? To teach the companions the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He didn't want to teach them the kayfiyah. He taught them the ma'na. We believe when he pointed out his 2 eyes, was the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam doing an act of kufr? We said the jariyah is one hadith ahad. This is Bukhari, it's Anas, and it's mutawatir.
How's it mutawatir?
I mean, how's it? It's narrated more than one companion.
So it makes it mutawatir?
That's not the definition.
Habibi, ahad, it's narrated one chain, one person.
I think you got to get the ulum hadith again.
Okay. Let me finish. I'm not asking about the hadith, but it's Bukhari, it's Sahih.
It's Sahih.
Okay. Now he explained that. And Tabarani said that your Lord has 2 eyes in his tafsir regarding the ayah of Nuh alayhi salam to construct the boat. Okay? And Al-Hasan al-Ashari in your books also agreed that Allah Azza wa Jal has 2 eyes. Now we want to go into ilm al-kalam. Explain that hadith. I'm a student of yours, and I came to you. The Prophet ﷺ said, your Lord is not hidden and He has 2 eyes, and He did this. Has the Prophet ﷺ done an act of kufr, and why did He do that if He didn't want to explain to the companions and teach them the religions? We believe, Ahl Sunnah wa Jama'ah, that Allah has eyes, not like His creation. The only thing that's same, as the Shaykh said, the name of the eyes and your eyes. Allah's eyes is unlimited, His sight is unlimited. Our sight is limited. This is becoming now philosophy. So why did the Prophet ﷺ do that? Why did the Prophet ﷺ do that? وَالسَّمَاوَاتُ مَطْوِيَاتٌ بِيَمِينِهِ قَدَّتُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Why did He do that? Why is the questions is linked to that. Why did the Prophet do all these actions and explain to the companions with his hands, with pointing to his eyes, Sami'ul Basir? What are you going to come and say the Salaf disagreed or made tafweed or ta'til or philosophy? Give me a straight answer with dalil from the companions.
Unfortunately,
No. I don't want 300 years to me. I don't follow. I follow the Salaf. The Salaf.
I think the Sheikh got your...
Yeah, but he's got to answer. If he can't answer it, don't answer.
Can you just simply read the hadith to me, please? First of all, and I'll give you the interpretation.
Read
the hadith.
I think what Ubaid is trying to say.
I'm not familiar with the details that he mentioned in the hadith.
All the hadiths.
The details that you mentioned. Can you read the hadith?
The Lord is not hidden from you.
Read it from the book, please, not from your memory, because you don't have the best of memories. None of us do, Yani.
What you're referring to, Yani, I don't think it's in the hadith. That's Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu pointed to his eyes, and not the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That's what we want to get to.
He's
making big claims.
To make it easy for you.
I want to hear it from the brother, Sheikh.
What he wants.
I'm asking you, the Prophet, did he do this?
We already covered all.
Okay, did he do this?
Does Allah have an E?
I'm asking you a question.
Does He have an E?
Allah
since He pointed to the E?
He's not pointing that Allah's got an E like His. He's Sami'un Basir.
But does He have an E, but we don't know the reality of the E?
Allah is.
Yeah, He is. So it's an affirmation of the attribute, not of the name.
The Prophet ﷺ say,
when He points to the eye, He's affirming the attribution.
What's laysa awar mean?
Awar means naqs. Allah is free from imperfection.
So
someone that has awar in his eye has naqs.
The
The Dajjal is deficient in his creation. Allah is free from deficiency. That's what it means.
That's according to your philosophy.
It's according to my philosophy.
Yes, it is.
And according to the tashbih that you're affirming,
which is philosophy.
it's
Oh, no,
Muqatil
I'm
bin Sulaym.
affirming what the Prophet
It's
said. What the
Muqatil bin
Prophet said and did.
Exactly like the Khawarij. They were affirming what the Quran said. لا يحكم
No.
إلا الله. And all of that, they killed the
You can't
Sahaba.
answer it. The Prophet ﷺ, did he do this?
That's an affirmation.
What was he doing?
That's an affirmation of what?
Of his
That the
attributes.
creation is in the grasp of
Of
Allah.
his attributes.
ما من دابة إلا هو آخذ
So what are we saying?
بناصيتها. There is not a
Allah's got a hand
single.
like us?
There is not a single creature except Allah has it by the forelock.
Okay.
Do you walk around with the hand of Allah on you?
Okay.
Or is it under the grip
Do
of
we
Allah?
claim that Allah has hand like us? The Salafi?
But you've already.
Well, I've heard you say it, and
But
I've
you've-
heard the brother say it.
But you've affirmed the hand, the literal hand. That's the tashbih
The
that way.
hand, Allah said he has a hand, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ
It's
شَيْءٌ.
a sifa of his, not a jariha.
We didn't say it is, you're saying it is.
You guys are.
You're giving us a
You're
shahada.
implying it.
We never
Like you're
said that.
saying the hand of the elephant, the hand of the fish, the hand of
Wallah,
this,
he's been doing
the
it
hand of
all.
Allah.
That's why I'm frustrated.
خلاص
He's going around in circles.
That's why you're going around, man.
خلاص خلاص
I'll
خلاص.
give you the
brother.
reference.
Good man.
You have any questions?
He couldn't answer me.
Sure.
You mentioned Tabari only one part. You said he affirmed علو al-sultan wal-mulk in his irtifa', but if you read further, he's came with the أقر على وارتفع.
He mentioned that before.
بس أقر ما نهاها. This is wrong. As a student of knowledge.
No, Sheikh. Wallahi, it's.
But I got the whole
Yeah, I've
script.
got it. We can read it all.
هو أقر بعلو كمان وارتفاع.
He says that
Ma-
the Salaf affirmed ulu wa irtifa', and then he said if it is said to us that would entail movement and change, and then he says in reply to those that are accusing the Salaf of the Tadsim, he says that the ulu of Allah and the irtifa' of Allah is ulu wa irtifa' ملك وسلطان لا زوال
قال هذا على قولين ما قالها كلامك. You gotta be fair يا شيخ. هذا على قولين. عند السلف هذا طبري. I want to read all the طبري in Arabic باللغة العربية. هذا قال على قولين.
I'll put a special post with the translation.
My problem is not against you. When you quote the works of the ulama يا أخي قال فسرها ما this is not رد the second معنى قالها على قولين منهم من قال الارتي شاكسن علو this is important
We read this. Why are you cutting and pasting?
this is
Which is what?
طبعا.
ما طبري هو
مثل ما قلت لك شيخ.
قال في مكان علو ملك وعلو
وقال ارتفاع يا شيخ
يعني is he contradicting
No,
himself? Or he's
إذا علو ذات
علو كمان علو ذات كده
even
مع
this
بعض
word علو that is not reported from the Salaf.
لا هذا خطأ
The word that and the word jiha is not found in the works of the Salaf.
ما سألك على الجهة سألك على العلو
But the
والارتفاع
word
علو
that
الذات
على
الطبري.
بذاته is
يا
additive.
شيخ يا شيخ
صح
الطبري
أنا معك.
علو الذات
بس ليش السلف ذكروها؟
No, the Salaf did not mention it.
ليش؟ لا كثير من ابن ابي زيد الكيرواني ذكرها. الامام ايش اسمه ابن عبد البر
ذكرها كمان
والذهب يعني في العلو الذهب نقل عن عده
نقلها شيء
عده ائمه
نقل
قالوا ذكروها ليش؟ لهدف واحد للرد على الجهميه
نعم.
التي نفت علو الله سبحانه وتعالى على
يمكن صي طبري انكر
حتى
العلو
قالوا
والارتفاع
ذاتي وحقيقه قالوا ذاتي وحقيقه كمان ليردوا على الجهمية.
أبو نصر
يثبتوا إثبات الصفة.
السجزي معك هذا
أبو نصر السجزي.
He says what? He mentions قال الحافظ الحجة أبو نصر عبيد الله بن سعيد الوائلي السدسي في كتاب الإبانة الذي ألفه في السنة أئمتنا كسفيان الثوري ومالك وحماد بن سلمة وحماد بن زيد وسفيان بن عيينة والفضيل وابن المبارك وأحمد وإسحاق متفقون على أن الله سبحانه بذاته فوق عرشه. Look what he says. وعلمه بكل مكان وأنه ينزل إلى السماء الدنيا وأنه يغضب ويرضى ويتكلم بما شاء. قلت من عم يقول قلت الذهبي قلت هو الذي نقله عنهم مشهور محفوظ that they do إثبات of علو they do إثبات of علم of Allah هو الذي نقله عنهم مشهور محفوظ سوى كلمة بذاته فإنها من كيسه.
شو من كيسه الذهبي في أماكن أخرى أيضا.
شو من كيسه يا شيخ؟ يعني هو طلع من كيسه.
زيادة.
The Imam of the Salaf never put this word because we have to be very specific with wording.
صح. And I'm with you. And it doesn't need to be put. Because
then why did you mention it? You meant to mention what was the way of the Salaf.
أنا أعمل لك ليش
1 minute ago you said all of the Salaf said it. I said none of the Salaf said it.
بعض خلينا نقول المتأخرين من السلف كابن عبد البر وكأبو زيد القيرواني.
He mentioned a couple. He mentioned a couple.
Salaf. They're not from the Salaf.
I'm telling you المتأخرين.
But they're not from the Salaf.
طيب جميل. المتأخرين ليش ذكروها؟ ليردوا على الجهمية. هكذا. بل لا المفروض ما يذكروها. المفروض ما يذكروها.
Sheikh, we got the hadith. We got the hadith in Bukhari. We got the hadith in Bukhari. Can we read it? We got the hadith in Bukhari.
When did he say so in Bukhari?
It's in Bukhari.
You said this one in Bukhari.
When did he say that?
Two eyes.
Yes,
he did.
I asked for one
You
simple
asked for a
statement.
reference?
Brother, you're putting words in my
Okay,
mouth.
so what were you asking for? Sorry, Afwan.
I said I just want you to read
Yeah, here I got
the
The reference. He asked for the reference.
I can see
Can I read the hadith?
Read
Can I read the hadith? Sheikh?
Because
unfortunately,
unfortunately my memory is not like Imam
Hey, I'm going to
Bukhari.
read it. Sheikh. You give us the tafsir.
Bassam, calm down.
He asked for the reference.
إن الله لا يخفى عليكم إن الله ليس بأعور وأشار بيده إلى عيني وإن المسيح الدجال أعور العين اليمنى كان عينه عنبة طافية.
كأن عينه.
No, it doesn't say كأن عينه. Yeah, كأن عينه
عينه.
عنبة طافية.
Yeah.
He just here's that's the hadith the brother wanted to read.
إن الله what was it? إن الله لا يخفى.
إن الله ليس بأعور. إن الله لا يخفى عليكم.
لا يخفى عليكم. Yeah.
Okay. إن الله ليس بأعور وأشار بيده إلى عيني وإن مسيح الدجال أعور العين اليمنى كأن عينه عنبة طافية.
Okay. The Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام.
That's the hadith Bukhari.
Okay, did he mention here again? Like I mentioned to the Sheikh, we have to be very, very specific and precise in words. Did the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام mention that Allah has two eyes?
The ayah did.
Which ayah?
بأعيننا
أعيننا is جمع or مفرد or تثنية.
Now you're going to falfasa.
How is Quran?
Did the Prophet point with his two eyes?
Well,
Is that
Jama'a,
the
Not
answer?
two eyes,
Your
not
answer
two
is in the
eyes. He
hadith.
said he pointed to his
The
eyes.
answer
بعين
is in the
عينه.
hadith.
Read the hadith إلى عيني.
Hadith
عيني,
says
not two
pointed to his
eyes.
No, I.
I see, but
Why?
جزاك الله خير.
Like, we have no problem with affirming eyes.
Is that what you said when you said
The
Jama'a?
hadith.
So we said, you mentioned the verse, A'yun is plural,
Yeah.
3 or more. So does Allah have 3 or
ما
more
أقل
eyes?
ما أقل
hadith.
الجمع ما أقل الجمع
أقل الجمع اثنين.
ما أقل الجمع
أقل الجمع.
أقل اثنين
يا شيخ هارون.
أقل
يا شيخ
باللغة
هارون.
تحكي لغة أقل الجمع
هذه
ما نمشي في الفصل
شيخ هارون خليني افيدك فائده في هذا.
أقل الجمع
بارك الله فيك. هذه امر لغوي يمكن يصعب علينا فهمها ولكن اهل اللغه تطرقوا اليها. اخي الكريم اذا اطلق الصفه فردا مفرده هذه لا تدل على عدد. واذا اطلقت جمعا لا تدل على عدد. اما اذا اثنيت فلا تدل الا على العدد.
Where did the Prophet say that Allah has 2 eyes?
نقص منك ما من الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
اعور الدجال.
So you're doing qiyas of Allah on the Dajjal?
That's what the Prophet done, not me.
Prophet.
No, he said ليس بأعور يعني ليس فيه نقص. ذات الله سبحانه وتعالى لا نقص فيها.
لا الاعور ايش معنى الاعور؟
One eye.
One eyed. He's got 2 eyes.
No,
but
he's
one
got-
is
No,
لا
الأعور means he has a
الأعور he has
deficiency.
2 eyes but one is imperfect.
One's
That's what it
it's
means.
defective.
Allah's got 2 eyes were perfect.
Did he mention, did the Prophet mention that he has 2 eyes? Or he just said that Allah is
هذا
ليس
هو.
بأعور?
لما قال ان الله ليس بأعور اثبت لله سبحانه وتعالى
No,
العينين.
that's your understanding, Sheikh.
Huh?
That's not
It's
the
not my understanding.
No, that's your
This is
understanding.
Imam Ahmad's understanding. This is Imam al-Dari's
This is Salaf's
understanding.
understanding.
Abu al-Hasan al-Ashari. You want me to get to Abu al-Hasan al-Ashari? الإبانة.
In the Ibana, if you go back to the
مقولات
Nusxa,
الإسلاميين.
if you go back to the Nusxa of Imam Ibn Asakir, he does إثبات of عين الله, لا أن له عينين.
أبو الحسن
The
الأشعري
Nusakh itself.
أثبت لله عينين.
2 eyes in
في
that
الإبانة.
That's
في
what I'm getting
رسالة
at.
إلى أهل الثغر ومقالات الإسلاميين.
That's what I'm getting at. In the Risala of اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد, in the Tabyin Kadhib al-Muftari, where he does naql of the Ibana in there,
Yeah.
he does not mention that Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari affirmed 2 eyes. He affirmed. Anyways, this is it's beyond the point, because in the Ash'ari madhab, the claim that we make is tafweed. So whether you say Allah has 1 eye or 2 eyes, if you do have a nas on it, it's not what comes to your mind where it's 2 literal eyes.
Coming to our mind.
That's what it comes.
you're the صفات of Allah
That's
عندك
what it
كلها مفوضة.
نقص
كل صفات الله مفوضة
The
عندك كلها صفات.
mutashabih, the mutashabih, not the muhkam.
Next.
خلاص let's move on.
Move on.
Fred,
Freddie,
Fred,
wrap it up.
you're
Abu Badi ya Jamal.
You got a question?
That's good.
You can go first, brother. You can go first.
Sheikh, you mentioned that that there's no good kalam or whatever, and Abu Hanifa done the dhamma of kalam. But it's mentioned in his manaqib on Abi Hafs al-Saghir أنه قال لم يزل أبو حنيفة يلتمس الكلام ويخاصم الناس حتى مهر في الكلام. Also, Imam Bayhaqi.
He became an imam in kalam.
بإسناد صحيح هذا؟
Imam Bayhaqi, I got it from Imam
I don't want
Bayhaqi.
you to throw words at me and من ثابت.
It's in the manaqib of Abu Hanifa. And the sanad is there. Imam Bayhaqi, he said, alright, he mentions on Imam Shafi'i. There's a sanad here, I'm not going to mention it obviously. علي يقول قال للشافعي كل متكلم في الكتاب والسنة فهو حد الذي يجب
وكل الحد الذي يجب.
Yeah.
This is where you put the limit.
Yeah. So I'll say it again. كل متكلم على الكتاب والسنة فهو حد الذي يجب وكل متكلم على غير أصل ولا سنة فهو هذيان. This is who Imam Shafi'i, Imam Bayhaqi mentioned this. Is sanad, the sanad is mentioned. I'm not going to what's it called. You can check it out.
Okay. Because Imam Shafi'i has severe words against Ahl al-Kalam.
But obviously it's muqayyad with this. So I'll translate it. Imam Shafi'i said every mutakallim and anyone who uses kalam which goes in line with Quran and Sunnah.
This could make not أهل الكلام ترى. كل متكلم عيد الكلام بالعربي.
كل متكلم على الكتاب والسنة.
على الكتاب ومتكلم بالكتاب والسنة. حبيبي هذا واضح. ما هو أهل الكلام حبيبي.
Alright, we got. There's another one where Imam Shafi'i is teaching kalam. He teaches kalam.
When?
Oh, here we go.
This would be great.
عن صاحب ابن عباد أنه ذكر بإسناده عن إسحاق أنه قال لي أبي كلم الشافعي يوما بعد الفقهاء فدقق عليه وحقق وضيق فقيل له يا أبا عبد الله هذا لأهل الكلام لا لأهل الحلال والحرام فقال حكمنا ذلك
We mastered it.
قبل هذا.
بأي إسناد هذا؟
It says بإسناده عن إسحاق.
بإسنادي؟
These are أقوال of the علماء منقولة بالقبول متلقى بالقبول.
يعني قص ولصق.
قبول عن من؟
I'll get you the sanad.
المشهور عن الإمام الشافعي حكمي في أهل الكلام.
You've had your question. You've had your question. No. You've had your question. No. You've had your question.
One more thing.
You can't. No. You've had your question.
So that's what you can do. You say it's not صحيح. Anyway, listen.
It's not.
ذلك أنا إيش عم قول؟ أنا برجع أنا عم قول قبل ما تنقل الكلام ثبت منه.
Alright, I'll get you the sanad.
نحن إن شاء الله أنا
It's 1 in the morning. Next person, man.
محمود.
Next question. Muhammad.
محمود. اسمك محمود؟ شوف
يا محمود
أنا بودي مثل ما قلت لكم تكونوا طلاب علم.
Of course. The sanad's mentioned. I'll send it to you later.
دائما من هب ودب. ما تنقل من هب ودب أخي.
Okay.
في موضوعات في لا أصل له في
100%. That's what the
تثبت أولا ثم جيب لنا إياه.
يا محمد
إن صح
محمد.
ما تعبنا إن صح ثم ننظر فيه.
Can I say one more thing?
No. Your question's done. It's 1 in the morning.
خلي
No.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Alright.
Muhammad.
Ibn Taymiyyah, you said
رحمه الله.
You said the Jahmiyyah are the Ash'ari. Okay, beautiful.
أنا
Alright, beautiful. Okay. Ibn Taymiyyah says وأما قول القائل من قال إن مذهب جهم ابن صفوان هو مذهب الأشعري أو قريب أو سواء معه فهو جاهل بمذهب الفريقين.
I'm going. جاهل
في مذهب الفريقين.
طيب جميل جدا.
I'll say it in English because
I understand.
I know you understand.
English.
I was saying.
Say it in English.
Okay. Ibn Taymiyyah said whoever says that the madhab of Jahm ibn Safwan and the madhab of Abu Hasan al-Ash'ari are close or the same, for huwa jahilun, he is a ignorant in the madhab of both of them. Ignorant.
جميل جدا. Which مرحلة أبو الحسن الأشعري? Just to show you, the ignorance that you're reading, you don't understand. شيخ الإسلام, what did he? اعتقاد شيخ الإسلام ما هو في أبو الحسن الأشعري?
What?
ما هو اعتقاد شيخ الإسلام في أبو الحسن الأشعري رحمه الله؟ on a safe, these guys know or not?
Yeah, but we say the madhab of Ash'ari.
What's his i'tiqad?
The madhab of Ash'ari.
You misunderstood it because Ibn Taymiyyah has a book بيان تلبيس الجهمية. It's a refutation of who?
Of Jahm.
No, the Ashari.
Okay. Alright, beautiful.
لا, not only that, يا حبيبي.
Yeah.
الشيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية. Even if we were to hold his words يعني على ظاهره.
Yeah.
ايش كان رأيه في أبو الحسن الأشعري رحمه الله؟
He's talking about the madhab.
والأشعري يقول
أبو
قيل من
الحسن.
القرآن
He
وإن
mentioned-
كلام الإنسان مخلوق للرحمن فوضح للبيب كل من المذاهب الثلاث. يعني he's actually
حتى شيخ الإسلام يقول
he's doing a
الأشاعرة
دليل. شيخ he's doing a
الأشاعرة
دليل.
هذا الكلام
أقرب
وين هذا
المذاهب
الكلام؟
لأهل السنة.
Which
هذا
مجموع
يقرره
الفتاوى
شيخ
where's this
الإسلام ابن
كلام؟
تيمية.
إلى كل
مجموع الفتاوى.
What volume and number please?
بس what I wanted to point
Volume
محمود what I wanted to point out to you.
Volume 2.
شيخ الإسلام
Yes.
يقرر أن أبو الحسن الأشعري انتقل
He's talking
إلى
about the madhab, the followers.
انتقل لا
مذهب.
اقرأ كلام
مذهب الأشعري.
اقرأ كلام
قال إن مذهب الجهم بن صفوان هو مذهب الأشعري. مذهب الأشعري.
الأشعري.
لا، ما أبو حسن الأشعري هو مذهب of the Ash'aris.
لا الأشاعرة هو نفس
هو
الأشاعرة
مذهب الأشعري.
يعني أبو الحسن الأشعري
He gives an example. He gives an example of the Ash'ari madhab. He gives an example.
شيخ الإسلام حبيبي يقرر أن أبو الحسن الأشعري مر بثلاث مراحل
نعم.
مثل ابن كثير
which does not
مثل غيره من الذهبي
Only Ibn Taymiyyah.
لا
ابن
لا
تيمية his
ابن
students.
كثير
Yeah.
الذهبي
His students.
الذهبي
His
ابن
students.
درباس
No,
what
no.
بلى.
Ibn Dirbas does إثبات of التبيين, that's all.
لا ابن درباس and تبين كذب المفتري ابن عساكر كمان بلى
No, شيخ.
بلى
والله he didn't mention it anywhere that he went through three
ابن عساكر
مراحل.
يقر بالإبانة لأبي الحسن الأشعري
Who denies that Kitab al-Ibana is his work? No one
طيب.
denies it.
الله أكبر إذا.
But it's upon the way of the Hanabila. This is a different story, Sheikh.
Next question. Next question.
خلاص next question
Harun, if the logic doesn't fit the Aqidah,
Regarding what? Allah?
Oh, is it your question now?
Sheikh, do you believe the Quran makes logical sense if taken literally?
if taken literally
Yeah, Quran and the Hadith. If
in
taken
its context and in its
Totality.
if taken
in its-
literally, does it make logical sense?
يعني in its entirety yes,
Yes.
of course
So what do you say about?
هدى ونور وبيان
I've got a question. Okay, inshallah. So what do you say about Allah? He's the most high, yeah, in direction. When he descends to the lowest heaven, is he still the most high at that time?
still the most high
Yeah.
كما يليق
if
بجلاله
he
وعظمته
descends literally,
ها
if he descends literally,
yes
how is he still the most high at the same time?
Literally.
how do you think
It's logical.
لا، لا،
No, but I'm
يا
talking about.
عبدان
Sheikh, I'm trying to make a
Don't
point.
use your
make a point make your point حبيبي
But
Take your
you
time.
said that it makes logical sense
yes
if taken literally.
Yes.
I'm saying the most high
أي
is above the throne.
جميل
And then he does nuzul.
Mm.
Is he still the most high logically?
the most high why not?
Logically, but
why not
because it's above the throne.
Why not?
And he descends.
because
You're
Allah
using
سبحانه
عقل
وتعالى
here.
No, no,
انتبهوا
we're
معي.
talking about
common sense.
You can't do قياس
No, no, I'm trying to make a point.
of
Sheikh.
Allah I'm trying to make a point to you
Okay.
too you can't do قياس على المخلوق انت فاهم ان المخلوق اذا نزل بيصير تحت
But you're saying to me logical sense.
بيصير تحت
Taken literally.
انتبه معي
Okay.
انتبه معي انت الان you enter into the كيفية this is the
Yeah.
problem
I'm not sure.
first بلى you enter into the كيفية logically if he comes down ها يعني something above him هذا في المخلوق اما الخلق لا يلزم
But you're
منه
saying
لا يلزم
literally.
منه صفات المخلوق
But Sheikh, you're saying literally he descends to the lowest heaven.
literally he descends to the lowest heaven
Yes, literally,
yes.
yeah.
yes
So he comes in his
Okay.
creation?
and he's still above his
So
throne
does he enter into
and
his
he's still in
creation
his highness
at the same time?
at the same time
It's illogical then.
huh
It's illogical.
That's the whole problem. That's the whole
You know what is
problem.
عقلا مستحيل then? You agree?
ما في logical هنا في هاني نص
Sheikh,
حبيبي
I'm telling you, is this عقلا مستحيل? عقلا not شرعا.
عقلا لا تفهم العقل الله يرضى عليك انا هربان من العقل الفاسد عندك حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يا احمد يا حماد عندك حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم
Sheikh, but
ينزل ربنا تبارك وتعالى الى السماء الدنيا
If I say
كما
to you-
يليق بجلاله وعظمته سبحانه
so what about the
وتعالى
Christians?
don't do قياس of the مخلوق
Okay, Sheikh,
with
I
الله
understand,
سبحانه
but
وتعالى
what about the Christians? They affirm that Allah enters into His creation as well, in a way which befits His Majesty.
enters into his
Yeah,
creation
like Nuzul to the lowest heaven, literally. Christians believe that Allah entered into His creation as well, which is Isa.
Entered into a man.
But that happened last for
Both
a
are creation.
That happened last.
Doesn't matter. We're talking about Aqlan here. Aqlan.
So it's possible. If there was a nas, it would be
يا
possible.
محمد يا محمد يا
But I told the
محمد
Sheikh, he said to me, yes, it's Aqlan. Well, Sheikh, you said
What's the
Aqlan.
difference between Isa and the sky? Aren't they both a
Sheikh, you
creation?
said Aqlan
So he
Jaiz.
entered into one, but not the other.
You said to
The
me,
one,
if you take the Quran
yeah,
and
it
Hadith
doesn't make sense, but we still
literally,
believe it. The other one doesn't make sense.
يدخلني
عقلا
أنت حطيته بالصمت.
يا ناس please let us concentrate.
Sorry.
yeah, I said to you, Sheikh, if you believe the Quran literally, is this logical? Does it make logical sense?
We can make logical sense of it.
So I told you, okay, if it's logically speaking,
Yeah.
if Allah descends literally to the lowest heaven,
Hey,
is He still the Most High? Because
he's
He's
still the Most
descending,
High.
you got the Arsh now.
he's still the Most High.
But logically speaking, how is He the Most High?
Because you're doing an analogy on a مخلوق.
Of descending.
Yeah.
Fred, you're in trouble, mate. With the shaykh.
Naam, Sheikh, naam.
Sorry.
You want to answer, boys?
Naam, Sheikh.
خلي الشيخ يجيب يا فريد.
أخي, he can't do قياس on the مخلوق.
But Ibn Taymiyyah
Allah
does
ليس
qiyas.
كمثله
Ibn Taymiyyah does
شيء.
qiyas on the 2 feet of Allah.
What do you mean
He does qiyas in his Majmu' al-Fatawa, Sheikh.
كيف يعني he
He
does
said
قياس?
just because the creation of Allah is perfect,
Yeah.
He is most deserving of perfection,
Yeah.
therefore He has 2 feet.
Who؟
Ibn Taymiyyah in his Majmu'
هذا في
al-Fatawa.
نص حبيبي.
This is qiyas.
في نص ما إنه قياس هذا ما إنه قياس. ابن عباس ايش قال؟ الكرسي موضع القدمين بإسناد صحيح. موضع القدمين. ابن عباس رضي الله عنه supporting evidence حبيبي.
Sheikh, all right, let's be
موضع
smart.
القدمين.
That's not beside the point you brought it up.
I'm trying to understand.
يا إلهي.
Sorry.
Alright, next question.
Alright, I'm just trying to understand, Sheikh. You said to me it's logically.
Logically, but logically within the text, the boundaries of the Quran and Sunnah, not logically على كيفك أنت.
But I would say this is aqlan mustahil. Because how can Allah be
ما
above
إنه
the
مستحيل.
throne?
ليس شيء مستحيل على
descend
الله.
at the same
ليس
time.
شيء مستحيل على الله. الله على كل شيء قدير أما من على كل
The
شيء
Christians say
قدير.
the same thing, but
They
do.
Christians.
But they
أنا
say
عم
the same
سألك
thing.
أنت. أنا عم سألك
The
أنت.
Trinity.
الله على كل شيء قدير أما ما.
Yes.
يعني هل يستطيع الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ينزل بدون أن يخلو من العرش أم لا
if it's
يستطيع؟
aqlan mustahil, you have to do ta'wil of it. That's
كده،
how I believe.
أنا عم بقول لك
Okay,
هل يستطيع الله
Yeah.
أن ينزل بدون أن يخلو من العرش أم لا يستطيع؟
What do you mean, Sheikh? The Arabic I'm not
يعني
sorry.
كان الله سبحانه وتعالى
Yeah.
come down
Literally,
literally
Yeah.
come down
Yeah.
without him not being above the throne, or can he?
Sheikh, this is
Answer that.
this is logical.
يعني can he come
No,
down?
he can't. No, he
Can
can't.
he come down with his throne?
No, he can't. Not literally.
No, literally.
Not literally. No.
With
Why
his,
not?
with his
Why
throne.
not? الله على كل شيء قدير. If we want to logically, he's not able. Of course he's able.
Can Allah create another God?
And that's
Logically?
No, he
why
answered that in the Quran.
that's why
He
اسمه
already answered you.
some of the
Said
Salaf
logically, not.
يعني there's أقوال للسلف في هذا ذكرها ابن عم ابن قدامة
Yeah.
عبد الغني المقدسي. Watch on this issue.
So,
They
yeah.
said watch on this issue. There's three sayings according to عبد الغني. He said بعض يعني من تقدم من العلماء يقول أنه يخلو منه العرش.
Where's the Salaf saying that?
كده أنا عم بقول لك على عبد الغني. يقول في 3 أقوال لأهل العلم في هذا. ما قال عن السلف، قال يعني هو في
ما بيهمنا شيخ.
is in the 6th century. لا
ما
بس
بيهمنا.
شوف أنت انتبه معي. وثم هو ماذا رجح؟ انتبه معي ثم قال يخلو منه العرش.
What's that? Sorry, in English.
يعني he empties the throne.
He empties
gets
the
out of
throne and literally goes down.
Whose statement is this?
عم بقول لك عبد الغني المقدسي في الاقتصاد. كتاب الاقتصاد هذا كتاب عقيدة.
Yeah.
It's
6th
the reigning
century.
of others.
He's narrating about others. يخلو منه العرش. Watch كيف. لا يخلو منه العرش. هذا قول لبعض أهل العلم. والقول الثاني التوقف وهو الصواب. ليش هو الصواب؟ So those who entered into the throne, he leaves the throne, he doesn't leave the throne, and the third is
We stop.
we stop. We don't say he leaves or doesn't leave. Why?
ليس
Why,
كمثله
Muhammad?
شيء.
If we apply Imam Malik's words that I told you, always apply it. We don't enter into the كيفية أخي.
No, alright.
We don't enter into the كيفية. Because الكيفية غير معقول. غير معقول. شوفوا الإمام مالك إيش قال. غير إيش؟
معقول.
معقول. Don't enter it.
The mind can't
Don't
comprehend.
enter it. سلم للنص. أخبر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه ينزل. هذا كلام خير البشر. بدنا نقول له لا يا رسول الله والله لا ينزل.
I'm trying to make a point that the
مصيبة.
nuzul is not literal, it's metaphorical.
لا literal أخي.
Based on what?
دخلنا مع الجهمية. ينزل أمره. تنزل رحمته. السلف نصوا على هذا.
Sheikh, does Allah go into His creation?
This book is full of it. رد على
My
الجهمية.
point was that we negate the literal meaning. We negate the
لا
literal
نقدر
meaning.
literal.
But why?
We
Sheikh?
affirm the literal
That's
meaning.
what we believe. Why? We
That means it's
negate
free from His
it
creation.
because this is aqlan mustahab. Therefore we negate
عقل
it.
الله ما حكم العقل.
You have to share.
لا
Inshallah, next
absolutely
time we'll
not.
talk about it.
الله قال ايش؟ الله واطيعوا الله واطيعوا العقل.
Sheikh, you need the aql to understand what's being said.
واطيعوا الله واطيعوا العقل.
Sorry, Sheikh.
Like Imam
فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله وإلى العقل.
أفلا يعقلون يا شيخ.
إيه العقل
Contemplate and reflect over the
جميل
Quran
within the boundaries of
أفلا تعقلون.
within the boundaries of
Quran Sunnah.
القرآن والسنة بعد الشرع.
Yeah.
بعد ما نزل الشرع ما العقل ما له ايش اسمه؟ العقل يستضيء بالقرآن والسنة. وإلا شوف عباقرة الناس.
هلا الشيخ كنا
The most genius people. The most genius people. What happens to them? بعقولهم. ضلوا ما مش ضلوا.
إبراهيم عليه السلام when he gave da'wah, was that aqlan or was that Quran?
ما في إشكال ما في إشكال.
You know what I'm
Ashish has work tomorrow.
saying?
I've got work today actually. Brothers, listen to
Sheikh, you have a PhD?
PhD?
Yeah.
Yes.
What does PhD stand for?
PhD.
Yeah, what does it stand for?
Cause don't get smart, brother. No, the bloke's telling you he's got to play HD. Hope, keep your hands to yourself. The bloke's, you're asking the sheikh if he's got to play.
Asking the question.
And my PhD is a doctor's in theology. That's what it is.
But a PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy.
طيب theology, philosophy.
That's what it's called, philosophy. So why would someone who's so against philosophy go with a doctorate of philosophy?
It's not a doctor.
It's not a doctor.
That's what a PhD is.
That's
a
what it
doctor
is
of philosophy.
with the Western mentality. With us, it's a not in philosophy. It's a doctor in aqidah.
Come on. So you're now saying that philosophy in this PhD of yours has a different meaning. Has a different meaning. It has a different. The
We've taken it
PhD.
from the West, يا أخي. ما كان في.
But why do we need to take it from the West when we have everything in Quran and Sunnah?
He's not learned from the West.
Yeah. No. I understand that. That doctorate
It's a
of
common
PhD
term now.
It's
It's
a
a common
term.
term.
It's a term. Yeah.
It's a common term, yeah, an agreed term between the universities.
Yes.
They've got
Yes.
their own rules.
Yes. Yes.
ما لنا شغل فيها.
I understand that.
نحن
So
نستضيء بالقرآن والسنة.
okay.
Even if you were to enter upon us, yeah, Ahmed, even if you were to enter upon us these philosophical terms or definitions or what have you,
Very good. Very good.
It's not having to do
We are all a part of that as well. So we subscribe to a philosophy, but not according to your definition of philosophy. Just like you haven't got a PhD according to the West's definition of philosophy. So you can't point at us saying you guys are all, falsafin or falfasin.
Make his point.
So what I'm trying to say is everything is by definition. So if you adhere to our version of the definition, then you will see we are also from Quran and Sunnah, just like you guys are claiming you're from Quran and Sunnah. That was my point. That's all I was saying. I love it that you've got a PhD. That philosophy term, let's throw it out the door. Let's give it a definition. When you let us give it a definition, you also see it's from Quran and Sunnah. That's all. It was a statement. Not a question. Thank you.
Is that how you meant to?
Jack, the brother didn't get a turn.
That's how we meant it.
You're gonna let him finish.
That's why you have to give.
The brother didn't get a turn.
Out of the heat.
He's been attacking him the whole time.
No, I'm protecting him.
Tariq,
I thought he thought the shot's away and he doesn't have one. He wants to see it.
Alright.
Let the brother have a turn.
Here you go.
What's your name, brother?
Hussein,
Hussein?
جزاك الله خير شيخ.
حياك الله.
شرفني, you brought us to your house.
Go ahead.
But with what he was saying, Muhammad was saying about the literal descending of Allah. If I want to take that literally, there's the hadith with the rings in the desert and then the samawat are like that, first to the second. If I want to take it literally, then I'm going to say it's not possible for Allah to literally come down. You know what I mean? Like, can you explain that? Because just of the size thing got to do with the hadith.
It's not possible.
Because of the
There's nothing
hadith.
not possible.
Look,
upon Allah.
I'm with you. Allah is able
But
to do
what,
anything.
what I want to just to make it easy and simple for you, akhi. See,
The kayfiyya, خلاص, we
yeah, the
leave.
kayfiyya, you never enter into the kayfiyya.
But this is not possible.
No,
Abadan.
no, it's not according to you.
It's your akal.
For the
According to
rings
your
in the
aql,
desert,
it's not
the size,
Whatever.
down,
possible. The Prophet ﷺ made it possible.
by saying it, يعني.
Of course. He's
And
the
it-
shara, he's the legislator.
No.
He's the one that said in clear Arabic language, ينزل ربنا تبارك وتعالى إلى السماء الدنيا
So to,
فينادي.
but to reject
It's
that
full of
literally and to take it metaphorically,
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine.
That's the Jahmiyyah.
Not
Because
in,
ينزل
in the
أمره,
sense,
if you go back to the Salaf, Imam Ahmad, Imam Ishaq ibn Rahawai, there's hundreds of Imams here. They will actually tell you that's the ينزل أمري أو تنزل الملائكة أو تأويل. You twist
is it
it.
possible? Is it,
That's
no,
the
no, no.
Jahmiyyah.
Is it possible to give it another meaning?
Then you fall
No,
into
no,
shirk.
literally.
If you
No,
do,
it's
you
not
fall into
possible.
shirk.
It's not.
You
It's
fall
not
into shirk. Who's asking me from my servants? You're falling into shirk at the end of the hadith. من يدعوني فأستجيب له.
من يسألني
Who's
فأعطيه.
asking?
The problem is when we're saying literal, you are automatically thinking this is how the creation descends, so Allah descends like that. We're not saying that. We're saying Allah descends literally in the ways that suits Him.
In His essence,
befitting
and like
him, the
Allah,
that
as
befits
Allah,
him.
يعني.
As Allah, as it befits Him.
Why
Like when
would
He
you not know?
speaks, as
See,
it
brothers,
befits Him.
brothers, I want to make a point here. I want to make a point here. Very important point. The issue with our Ashari brothers is with any sifa, I've realized after reading their books and what have you, straight away their mind goes to tashbih. Why?
Because of the movement.
Why?
If it wasn't for the movement,
يا
I would have.
أخي يا أخي يا أخي
You know what I mean?
الصفة تابعة للموصوف.
What is that?
الصفة تابعة للموصوف.
The attribute.
When I'm speaking about you, I'm knowing exactly, huh? Because I can see you,
No, man.
I know exactly, you move, you did. Do we know this about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No. Then we say, كما يليق بجلاله وعظمته.
What befits him?
Yeah.
What befits Him, the Almighty.
We don't know.
As is befitting Him, the Almighty.
Movement doesn't befit
You're
Allah.
putting that. You're putting
لا
that.
لا حتى طريقة
Don't go into the
لا يحب
kayfiyya.
الانتقال والدوام.
Don't go into the
So
kayfiyya.
movement is in the kayfiyah. See how
Of
Allah.
course. Did the Prophet ﷺ say ينزل ربنا and يتحرك أو لا يتحرك؟
ينزل is a movement يعني. ينزل.
ينزل with us is descent, and it's a movement. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala it doesn't necessitate that, because it's as befitting Him, the Almighty. It's as befitting Him, the Almighty.
والله عفوا شيخ هارون fully يعني.
It's alright. It's alright to ask. You done the right thing.
You know what I mean?
You done the right thing.
Now I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Make it easy
I'll give you
for
an
him.
I'm just saying the.
I'll give you an
the
example.
descent
I'll give you an example. I'll
and
give you an
I'm
example. I'll
doing
give you an
like
example.
with movement.
When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees. Huh? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees. What is His sight? What is His sight as described?
Whatever is Allah.
لا
as
يخفى عليه
himself,
خافية.
يعني.
يعني nothing.
No limitations. Allah
Nothing
is
is
free from
not seen to Him.
imperfections. Yeah. Allah is free.
Nothing. He sees everything.
Yeah.
Is that how human sight is?
No way. It's
Our sight is what?
Limited.
Very limited.
Ours is imperfect. Allah
Very
is perfect.
Then look
Then
at
he-
that.
then his
How can you
descent
compare?
is-
How can you compare His sight with our sight? He's hearing the same thing
No, we don't. No, you can't.
with everything. Say as befitting Him,
Mm.
because we haven't seen Him. We haven't seen Him. We haven't seen His person or His essence, huh? The Almighty. To know how these sifat are. The Almighty.
It's a big
We will
topic,
see Him,
man.
inshallah, on the day of
Yeah,
judgment,
of
and might
course.
be able to
You know what
comprehend.
it is?
But everyone asked that question. What the question you asked about coming down there?
Yeah.
Everyone asked that question, so I don't think you
Don't
spoke
go
out
into
of
the
line.
Yom
No,
al-Qiyamah is Allah
no,
gonna
that's
ask
what
you-
it's all about,
On the day of
yeah.
judgment, is Allah going to ask you about His kayfiyah?
Nah.
He's going to ask you about your iman billah
That's-
azza wa
that's-
jalla.
Iman
And he's
billah.
like, okay,
That's agreed upon. That's
Ah,
agreed
no, it's
upon.
not like
والسؤال عنه look,
That's a good
look
one.
والسؤال عنه بدعة.
Your turn, brother.
After me, yeah.
Tarek, is it?
Yeah.
Salam.
What's happening here is that, like, what it seems like with the Quran and Sunnah, we are both affirming the words. When it says Yadullah fawqa aydihim, the Asharis as well, we affirm Yad. We affirm an abstract attribute as well. So, but what I'm trying to figure out the differences between the Asharis and the Salafis is that the Asharis, if you ask them about the Yad, the Asharis would say this Yad having a height, a width, a color, physical limit, stillness, movement, being able to change whatever, all of these things, these are impossible to Allah. These are all impossible. So we affirm a Yad, but a height, width, change, all these things, these are all impossible for Allah. Is what we say. So I just want to ask, is the Salafis against this, or are you saying that all of these things, they are possible for Allah?
Good question. Very good question.
Like very simple, very simple. Again, so as not to enter into the philosophy and speculative theology. نثبت ما أثبته الله لنفسه سبحانه وتعالى وما أثبته له رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. نعم ننفي وننفي ما نفى الله سبحانه وتعالى عن نفسه وما نفاه عنه ايش؟ نبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. هو أعلم الخلق بربه سبحانه وتعالى. ألا يكفينا هذا؟ أو do you want to بدك تتجاوز النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم?
Can I say what you said to see if I understood?
First, did you understand what I said?
That's what, can I say it in my words?
But did you understand what I said?
That's what I'm
No, he hasn't understood.
Repeat what I said?
Yeah, he hasn't understood it.
I'm going to say what I understood from it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I said, like the Ashari say it's impossible for Allah to have a Yad that has a height, width, all these things. We affirm an abstract attribute. From what I understood from
abstract attribute?
As in like Allah's transcendent, is beyond place and time.
That's philosophy.
Yeah. But I'm just telling you what
hand, what's the hand he then? What's the hand he? And it's not literal?
So, what do you mean by literal?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a hand, and the hand literally as befitting him, the Almighty.
Yeah, so like in abstract.
What do you mean by abstract? This is what I want. What do you mean by abstract? What does abstract mean?
So literal, like if we,
like, it's nothing, it's not there.
Like because we're talking English, so literal means
like it's not literal. It symbolizes something else.
Like no, like literal in English, we're talking about like literal, like as in physical, in place and time, limit. That's what we're talking about here. But I'm saying abstract as in beyond place and time. He's not limited. No had. That's what I'm saying. No had, no height, no width.
What do you mean by no haddi? Because these are all words you're using.
Yeah,
they're not used by the Salaf, nor by not used by the Prophet, nor by the Salaf.
I'm saying no physical limit. Like Allah is not like, for example, in a boundary. That's what I'm saying. So he has
everywhere.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
You're saying he's not in a boundary.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know? He's everywhere.
No. He's beyond place and time.
That means he's in a place. He's not everywhere.
Beyond meaning that, like this is a creation.
He's outside of the creation.
He's not in it.
He's outside of the creation.
No. So
what? He's inside the creation?
I think you're not explaining
it.
Look.
He's inside the creation?
Look, physical limit, everything that is physical is inside of the creation.
Yes.
Yes. So
and everything non-physical is outside of the creation.
No, everything that is not physical, you don't say inside or outside. You just say that it's beyond place and time. That's how you describe something that's not physical.
Hang on. We know, Akhi, Imam al-Dhahabi mentioned this in his book, by the way. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the creation. And that creation is within space and time. Because it has direction. And it has time. There's sun and moon and day.
Exactly. So everything
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is outside of the creation. So where he is, if you're saying there's no time and space where he is, that's all right. If you agree with me on that. If you don't, then it's problematic. Because you're telling me Allah is not outside of this creation, not inside of his creation. And هذه يسميها العلماء من الممتنعات. It's impossible. If I was to tell you now, this bottle, is it inside the cup or outside the cup? You can't tell me it's not inside and not outside.
Yeah, the reason why is because the bottle is physical.
Jameel.
Yeah.
Jameel.
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the creation also.
Yeah.
Allah created. Is he inside his creation?
Yeah. No, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
then
But
automatically that makes him what?
Outside.
No, when you're
Outside his creation.
This is logic.
listen. We said about the bottle, if it's inside the cup, you have the cup there. If it's inside the cup or outside of the cup, this is related to physical bodies, physical objects. When you say is Allah in like the creation or outside of it, you're referring him to as a physical body. We're saying
Allah doesn't have a divine essence.
What I'm trying
Is
to
that
say
what you're trying to say?
I didn't say anything about essence. I just said
What?
I said because it's not physical, being in or out. We don't
That
describe Allah like
see
that.
this issue of physical, non-physical, all this. This is philosophy.
But that's what
This
I'm
is
trying
philosophy.
to. Yeah.
Allah is something,
Yeah, but
and that something exists.
Yeah.
Huh?
If you go back
He
to-
exists. He's somewhere.
Yeah, but if
You can't say he's not outside of the creation, not inside the creation. It means he's nowhere. العدم. أثبتنا العدم. أو ممتنع. That's why Imam Ahmad said في الرد على الجهمية in his book. Watch carefully.
Yeah.
في الرد على الجهمية. In his book, just a minute so I can explain to you.
Yeah.
He said the Jahmiyyah, or Ishaq ibn Rahaway, نقل عن Ishaq ibn Rahaway. He said the Jahmiyyah allude to a God who doesn't exist.
The Jahmiyyah said Allah is everywhere.
They allude to a God that
They
doesn't
said Allah
exist.
is everywhere and nowhere. The
Smart.
Ash'aris don't say that.
They,
And that kitab of Jahmiyyah, it's mansub كذبا للإمام أحمد.
لا لا
There's a whole book written on it, Sheikh.
كثير من الأشياء نقلوا عنه وأثبتوا
He's
لي.
gonna, none of his students ascribed it to him. I'm going to give you this as a hadiyah, Sheikh.
على كل على
كل
كل على كل just a minute.
Yeah.
If you say to me,
Yeah.
يا طارق, if you say to me, as إسحاق بن راهوي says, and الإمام الذهبي نقله عنه هنا. I have a tree in my garden, and I say to you, describe the tree for me.
Yeah.
And you say the tree has no trunk, no branches, no fruits, no leaves. What am I going to say to you?
You've lost the plot.
It's not a tree.
Huh?
It's not a tree.
كذبت. You don't have a tree. Are you with me?
Yeah.
فأنت be careful
But
not to fall into what some of the Jahmiyyah fell into.
Sure. Yeah.
Saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Yeah.
is not in, not out, not this, not that. Where is he?
That's not- yeah, but back to the
Huh?
question.
Where is he?
The Jahmiyyah said
I want to
Allah
ask
is
a question.
everywhere.
If someone asks you, where is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
كما كان, like Imam Abu Hanifa said, كان ولا
هذا
مكان.
كذب عن ابو
هذا
حنيفه.
كذب عن أبو
هذا
حنيفة.
كذب
That's what you
افتراء.
claim,
كله
Sheikh.
كذب.
هذا
كذب على أبو
طيبين.
No,
يا
authentic
شيخ
isnad. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to do that.
اسمعوني ناس.
هذا كذب على ابو حنيفه. man.
Why don't you use the hadith of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم؟ أين
كان
الله
ولا شيء معه.
في السماء.
That's
He's not
the
good enough.
السماء.
كان الله ولم
Why
يكن
don't
شيء
you
معه.
use قول زينب في صحيح البخاري زوجة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم زوجكم آباؤكن وأمهاتكن وزوجني الله من فوق 7 سماوات. That's hadith in صحيح البخاري.
What do you say about that?
زوجة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Imam Abu Hanifa said that.
يعني why don't we stick and adhere
Anyways,
يا
that's it,
إخوة.
brother.
Quran and Sunnah.
Quran and Sunnah.
That's it.
It's so.
Let's
Let's go on. Finish your question. Finish your question.
Yeah.
Finish your question.
Sheikh, I'll try to make it as simple as I can. If you can just answer it, like as in.
But don't be too philosophical.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
دوختنا طارق دوختنا bro والله.
I'm just saying.
Leave it,
Alright,
leave
fine.
it.
I would say.
Everyone else.
Wrap it
Leave
up.
it, leave it.
Sure.
Stop
Alright.
pointing at me.
So I'll try to make it
What?
more simple.
No.
When we affirm yad,
Wanna be
we
gangster?
affirm
Wanna be gangster?
yad, but
Salt them.
Without- the yad having a height, a width, a color, physical limit, all these things. But just wait, I'm not asking about you. I'm saying what. the
Just
Ash'aris
on
say.
that, just on that. I
Well,
want to tell you something.
That's not the part of the question, but.
Okay.
And then the Asharis say that all of these things, physical limit, all these things that are mentioned, are negated and it's impossible to Allah. All the question is that height, width, physical limit, stillness, movement, all these things about the yad, do you think as well as the Asharis that it's impossible to have these things, or do you think that it's possible or necessary? Do you agree that it's impossible, or do you think that it's possible or necessary?
Okay, Jamil. What's موقف السلف من
I just want to know what
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm answering you the question.
Yeah.
See, the Salaf, barakallah fi,
Yeah.
they had a mawqif concerning that which Allah did not affirm for Himself,
Yeah.
nor
A position.
the stance or the position of the Salaf is that with these types of words
Yeah.
that the Quran nor the Sunnah
Yeah.
spoke about, they had a stance towards them.
Yeah.
Firstly, they wouldn't use them.
Yeah.
Secondly, they said you ask the person,
Yeah.
what do you mean by this word and that word
Yeah.
and this word?
Yeah.
Like for example,
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. No, but I was saying height. Yeah.
I'm telling you. For example, body. I'm using this word body.
Yeah.
ما أثبتها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا نفاها عن الله سبحانه وتعالى. فنستفصل. We say to the person, what do you mean by body? Do you mean Allah's person, essence? If you mean that, then of course we affirm. That we say we don't use that word body. We affirm Allah's that
Yeah.
and Allah's person.
Sure. But
If you say, there's no that, no, أعوذ بالله.
sure.
See how it's problematic?
Yeah. But
It could have a good meaning to it.
Yeah.
It could have a
Yeah.
bad meaning to it.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Yeah.
with movement of the hand,
Mm.
like for example,
Yeah. Like
Huh?
Allah's, are you saying Allah's hand?
Allah's
Yeah.
hand,
Yeah.
because I just want to
Yeah.
because you mentioned movement.
and stillness. Yeah.
The Prophet ﷺ in the hadith
So- so-
says, and he actually imitated.
Yeah.
He said Allah grabs, and he
Yeah.
was moving his hand,
Yeah.
moving his hand.
Mm.
So we affirm for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a movement in his hand, as the Prophet
Yeah.
ﷺ affirmed for him.
That's what I'm trying to ask. So
Yeah.
I said.
So we affirm what the Prophet affirmed,
Definitely.
and we disaffirm what the Prophet
Yeah.
disaffirmed.
But can I just to make it clear? So I said that the Asharis negate all these things. You so far affirmed movement.
We affirm what the Quran and Sunnah affirm.
But I'm saying out of these words, you tell me if you affirm it,
Mm.
if like as in if it's possible or necessary,
Mm.
or if you negate it like it's impossible. Because Asharis are saying that they're all impossible. You just tell me like height. We will say impossible. You tell me is it possible?
Height of what?
Of Allah's hand.
The height.
The colour of his hand.
Allahu A'lam. That's kayfiyya. We're going
colour of
to
his
the
hand.
kayfiyya of
saying,
that.
look,
Once
listen to
I
the
said
question.
Allah height.
ما نثبت هذه ولا ننفيها ما ثبتت عن السلف وعن
This is hellness, يا أخي. You're going into
You're
hell.
going to the hellness.
كيفية.
Leave him. What?
Why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us how?
Going into the kayfiyya.
What's the question?
The question is, look, for our, like an attribute that we all agree on. We all agree that Allah, for example, sees.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I said, do you believe Allah sees? Is it necessary, possible, impossible? What would you say? Like we will say it's necessary.
Allah sees?
Yeah.
Necessary.
Yeah.
Because
So I'm saying-
lesh.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, what?
Lesh.
Why?
Why necessary?
Because it's in the Quran and Sunnah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jami.
I know, but I'm not asking for the why. I'm not asking for evidence. I just want to know what you think. That's it. Yeah. So now that's what we did with seeing. You agree that it's necessary.
Jami.
I agree that it's
Jami.
necessary.
Yeah.
But I'm not asking for your evidence. I'm just
Jami.
asking if it's
Jami.
necessary or not.
Jami.
So when I said, does Allah have like his yad? Does it have a height, a width,
Any dimensions?
stillness?
We don't enter
movement?
into that. We don't enter
But listen,
We don't enter
we say it's impossible. Do you say that it's possible?
You say it's impossible?
We say it's impossible.
What's your proof that it's impossible?
Yeah, no, but
We don't want to get
I'm
into the
not
proofs. He's just
debating.
asking.
I'm not debating with you.
Just
I'm just
I'm
asking you.
I'm going to tell you. You're saying it's impossible. You're saying it's impossible?
Yeah, but do you?
Why is it impossible?
No, I'm not. But so you're
We're not
answering,
getting
asking.
into that.
Yeah, I'm asking
I'm
you.
asking you a question. You're asking.
Yeah, I want
Yeah, so is it possible or impossible? Why don't you tell
where
us?
you're coming from.
He just wants to know what your stance is. That's it.
So why is it impossible?
Sheikh, I want to know what you say first, and then we can get into the evidence.
Because he's not here to debate you.
Anyway, I've answered your
No,
question.
you didn't. You didn't say it's necessary, possible, impossible.
I've answered your question.
No, Sheikh.
That which is in the Quran
And
and
the
Sunnah,
Sunnah
we
answered
affirm
you.
that
You've been speaking for 10 minutes.
and
We gave you time. If it was us, you'd cut us off.
anything else, if it has a good meaning to it, that is in agreement with the Quran and Sunnah, we affirm.
Yeah.
Doesn't agree with the Quran and Sunnah, we don't
Alright,
affirm.
anything that's not in the Quran and Sunnah, is it just possible but you don't know?
What-
Or is it like impossible? That's the question I'm trying to say.
But
It all
he mentioned
depends.
The
It all depends on
principle is
principle.
we affirm what is affirmed in the
And
Quran.
negate.
And negate. So you're negating things that
Yeah.
haven't been mentioned in the
That's what I'm
Quran.
saying.
But that's not our principle. Our principle is to negate
That's what I'm
what's been
asking.
mentioned.
I'm saying part of your principle.
Brother, is what I'm thinking about in my head now real or not? Hang on.
I'm saying, look,
I'm thinking about something. Is it real or not?
Fred,
Where's it
I'm
going?
saying-
Fred.
Look, I'm saying you affirm,
Where's
you're
he
saying you
going?
affirm what's in the Quran and Sunnah, and you negate what's in the Quran and Sunnah.
Yes.
I gave you random words that's not in the Quran and Sunnah.
So we don't.
Yes, wait. So I'm
Who do I give it
saying,
to?
do you
I think I
say
gave it to someone.
that
Come
these
on.
things are not in the Quran and Sunnah possible, or do you say
I gave it to
that,
someone that will use it. I don't
as in
use
they're
it.
possible,
Okay,
but
the
I
answer's
haven't?
the answer's
I'm not
simple.
going to delve into
There
it.
are
What you want
things,
to
brother.
say?
I'll answer.
So
There are, brother.
I'll-
One second, one second. There are things, Akhi. There are things. Hold on a second. Akhi, there are things that befit Allah. As Allah says, الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. Things that don't befit Allah. The things that don't befit Allah. The things that don't befit Allah are not befitting for Him. Can Allah fall asleep? It's not befitting for Him. It's not from His sifat.
Alright, but I'm just trying to say.
That don't befit Allah.
I'm trying to understand the
هذا
principle.
المنهج السلف لهم
The
منهج في
principle,
هذا.
the
I'm trying to
principle
understand the
is
principle.
to negate what
To
is being
negate what's in
negated.
the Quran and Sunnah and to affirm what's in the Quran and Sunnah.
Correct, yes.
I'm asking, this is the question. The things that are not, because there's a affirming and negate, I'm saying the things that are not in the Quran and Sunnah.
So why are you going into something that's not in the Quran and
Yeah,
Sunnah?
but I'm saying when you say you
But we
don't,
don't discuss it.
I'm saying when you say you don't discuss it,
Yeah.
does that mean it's just possible, it's out there, but I don't know?
Brother,
I don't
that's
discuss
not
it?
that-
Or
that's
do you
not why
say
we're
that you
here.
negate it?
That's not why we're
We
here.
don't negate
We're
it.
here about Quran and Sunnah. Why are you going into whatever's in your head, brother? You're spinning out.
Fred.
Wallah, he's spinning out.
I know.
The bloke's actually spinning out. No one can see it. We're here for the Quran and Sunnah.
That principle's not in the Quran and Sunnah.
I'll give you.
So what are you asking about it?
I'm trying to understand its principle that's not in the Quran and Sunnah. Why can't I ask that?
Why don't you ask Karun?
صلي على النبي صلي على النبي يا فريد.
This way his
I'm going
sickness
to give
came
you a
from.
benefit. I'm going to give you a benefit.
No,
of that also.
Where'd your
Listen,
sickness come from?
Fred.
Don't worry.
Guys,
Your sheikh.
there's
Your sheikh gave you that sickness. too.
خلاص, let's not get into get upset.
Alhamdulillah.
ولله المثل الأعلى ولله المثل الأعلى كل صفة كمال اتصف بها المخلوق ها وأمكن أن يتصف بها الله سبحانه وتعالى فهو أولى بها كل صفة نقص ها كل صفة نقص وعيب في المخلوق فالله سبحانه وتعالى أولى بالاتصال بالنفي نفي الاتصال به.
Can you translate that, sheikh, please? It's a very
يعني
important
قل ولله المثل الأعلى, and for Allah is the best parable or best example. Huh?
Yeah.
Whatever the creation can be ascribed to the creation, and it is a perfect perfect attribute for the creation.
Like yet, for example.
Perfect attribute
Yeah.
for the creation.
Yeah.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more worthy of it. Any defect or deficiency or shortage or fault that is negated from the creation, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more worthy of not being ascribed.
Yeah.
or
So all
attributed.
I was asking is that the words that I said, was that part of the naqs, or was it part of the kamal? That's what I was asking.
With some of it we can't enter into it.
Yeah,
Because
so
you're
that you
entering
don't
into
know
the
if it's in,
kayfiyah.
so you don't know if it's in the naqs or it's in the kamal. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't enter into it.
That's what I'm asking.
Can't enter into it.
That's what I'm saying. Sure, it's possible, but I don't know. Let's see.
He's not going to say it's possible and it's not it.
But that's what he said.
Yeah, your question, bro.
Just simple questions, I won't take long. You said that
No, I'm good.
every verse has a meaning. So what about like Alif Lam Mim? So obviously I heard that for Alif Lam Mim and these verses that come with letters, it's more of a challenge to the Arabs.
Yeah.
But that's not really a meaning. It's like more of a point.
It's a meaning.
How's that a meaning?
Okay.
Isn't it more of a
Okay,
point?
I'll tell you how it's a meaning. And what the meaning of it is, our Arabs, this is the meaning of it. Our Arabs, this Quran of ours that we have sent down is made from these Arabic letters of yours. This is the language that you speak. It's a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get the likes of it. Get 10 chapters of it. Get 1 chapter of it. Does it have a meaning or not?
But Sheikh, that's not the literal meaning of
I don't
Alif
think that's
Lam Mim.
meaning.
That's not a
Some
meaning.
Mufassirun
That's
said
an
that-
interpretation.
Some Mufassirun
That's a
said
derivation
that
of
every letter
meaning.
represents
Alif Lam Ra, يعني if you want, يعني the meaning يا هارون.
Mufassirun said that.
If you ask the question, دقيقة يا If you want the meaning, alif lam ra is alif harf, lam harf, ra harf. That's the meaning of it. All right.
So it's a harf. That's the meaning
That's
of
what
it.
it is. ألف لام ألف باء تاء ثاء إيش هو هذا؟ حروف اللغة العربية. That's what it is. And that's what the Quran is made up of.
Sure. Let's say in the Day of Judgment, yeah, when Allah asks me, wouldn't it be more safer to say to Allah, Ya Allah, I don't know the exact absolute meaning of these verses, rather I'll just leave the meaning to you for all of these verses that are ambiguous, etc. Wouldn't you say that's more safe?
If it's ambiguous
No.
to you.
Learn them, brother. Learn them. Study.
No.
Why is it not more
Absolutely
safe?
not.
Why
Allah
does
subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent his book to puzzle us, to confuse us, or sent it as a huda, guidance.
But there's a difference between all of these verses, right? Fundamental verses,
That
ambiguous
depends
verses.
from person to person.
That's right.
Ibn Abbas said, I know everything.
No, like
I know all the meanings of
For
it.
example, in the Day of Judgment, yeah, inshallah, when Surah Ikhlas, obviously I can know the exact meaning of those verses, but when it comes to like Alif Lam Mim, Allah rising above
Some
His
of the
throne,
hard verses.
etc., etc. Of
Allah
course.
may forgive
Wouldn't it
you.
be,
Allah may
no,
overlook
wouldn't it be
your
more
shortages and
safe?
shortcomings.
Wouldn't it be more safe to say to Allah, Ya Allah, I left the meaning to you. I didn't want to delve into it. I didn't want to get into these differences, these great topics that are just causing this level of disunity. I'll just leave the meaning to you, Ya Allah. Don't you think that's more safe?
No.
Please tell me why.
It's not more safe.
Why?
Because the Prophet ﷺ came with the Quran لفظا ومعنى أو بس لفظا.
I don't know.
English.
The Prophet ﷺ, when he came with the Quran, he came just to give it to us. Text only, without meaning, or text with meaning.
Text with meaning, but
Huh?
it applies to certain verses, like I said to you before.
What?
Fundamentals and ambiguous verses.
Astaghfirullah, man.
No, just medicine. لا خلي يا
Allah yahdik. Send him out. We're going around in
The
circles.
Prophet ﷺ knew the meaning of these verses, or he didn't know the meaning of these verses. And Jahid.
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The narrations, Sheikh, we mentioned the narrations regarding
He
it.
knew the meaning.
He knew the meaning? Jameel. Obligatory on him to pass the meaning on to his ummah or not? بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك.
Could I just say one thing?
Answer and then say.
Go on.
Obligatory to him to pass the message or not?
No doubt. Of
Huh?
course. Of course.
And what did he do in Hajjat al-Wada'? Allahumma
Bear witness.
Have I conveyed the message? لفظا ومعنى? They said نعم. نشهد أنك بلغت الرسالة وأديت الأمانة ونصحت الأمة. You're saying now, basically, you're trying to avert this and say, look, I want to take half of what the Prophet ﷺ came with, or some of what the Prophet came with, and I don't want to take the other because I fear, or it's problematic.
I never said half. I
It's
just
problematic. Yeah, some you might leave and some you
said.
might
No,
take.
I didn't say some. I said the word in the Quran where it says there are fundamental verses and there are ambiguous ones. Ambiguous as in unclear differences of interpretations, etc. There's with all of these fundamental verses like Surah Ikhlas, all of us can agree upon them. Whereas these ambiguous differences of interpretation of these verses,
Habibi,
there's a
Allah
massive
doesn't
significant
overburden, Allah doesn't
distinction to
overburden
be
you
made.
more than what you can carry, what you're capable of.
Of course.
If you're capable of only understanding this much of the Quran, good luck to you. But if you come across something that you understand, or you've come across the Salaf, for example, or the tafsir, or what have you, and you turn a blind eye to it and say, oh, I don't want to understand this, or I don't want, then you're blameworthy. It's only if you put your time and strive and try to, then you don't come to a conclusion over a verse or over a hadith or what have you. Allah will forgive you for that. Your shortage and shortcut. But you can't do it, watch carefully, intentionally. Are you with me? Huh? A person can't come today and say, look, wallah, I find wudu a bit heavy on me. I don't want to learn wudu. Huh? I'll pray without wudu. Can you do that? But if you've come across something and it's clear to you, and you've striven, you put your effort in, and you've sought knowledge, you've got to take it on board.
I think
If you don't, and you exert yourself, and you don't understand, and you want to take the safe side, that's between you and your Lord.
I think wudu is a different example to versus.
That's it. Let's go. Next question.
Next question.
Next question.
You're assuming that the verses of Allah's attributes are ambiguous. The Shaykh already stated that Imam al-Tabari mentioned the 5 opinions amongst the Salaf. None of them said they are.
None of the Salaf said they're ambiguous. Yours said they're ambiguous. All the ayat al-sifat are muhkam.
And I said to Shaykh Harun,
keep studying, man. Keep studying.
Said the ayat al-sifat are ambiguous.
Close the doors. Tarek.
One person from the Salaf.
Keep studying, man.
Okay, guys, have we finished?
None of us are going to memorize the whole Quran and understand it.
You're good? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت